Hello, Emma Rees Crime here, your fellow crime, thriller and mystery book lover. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Words cannot describe how lucky I am and how grateful I am that I have been fortunate enough to get my grubby little paws on a copy of Dear Debbie by Freida McFadden before it's released. I finished it the other day and honestly, it left me speechless to the point where I'm dedicating a whole video to just discussing this book. I haven't done a video like this before where I've dedicated the whole video to one book, so it's a bit of a risk, but wish me luck. I'm going to start off by telling you about the plot of Dear Debbie. I'm then going to go on to discuss my thoughts on the book, keeping it spoiler free of course, and then towards the end I'm going to give you my star rating, which you might have seen if you've seen my December wrap up, and also let you know why this book left me speechless. Anyway, let's get straight to it. So here's the plot. So Debbie Mullen, the main character, is losing it. For years, she has run an advice column called Dear Debbie. This is where wives of New England and America write to her with their problems. They come for advice from her. She has been running this advice column for years, and she has heard from countless women being abused, ignored, and belittled by their husbands. And she tries her very best to guide them in the right direction. However, her life is starting to spiral out of control. She gives a bit of taboo advice which ends up getting her fired from her column. Her two daughters, Izzy and Lexi, are acting kind of strange, and her husband, Cooper, is being really secretive. This is confirmed by the tracking app that she has installed on her husband's phone. Also, her neighbours are doing a head-in, so now it is time for her to take revenge on those who deserve it. Okay, so here are my thoughts. As with the majority of Freida McFadden's books, this is fast-paced and highly addictive. It has short, punchy chapters, many of which end on a sort of cliffhanger, making you want more. It's a case of just one more chapter, okay, just one more chapter, and then suddenly you've binged 10% of the book. The story is jam-packed full with feminine rage. Compared to other characters that Freida has written, I personally found that Debbie was really well written and her character was really well fleshed out. She's not really a likeable character. She's not the nicest person. However, when I was reading it, I just couldn't help but to root for her. I really liked her, even though I didn't want to. Something that stood out for me in this book was I loved the sense of humour in the story. I don't tend to find Freida McFadden's books very humorous, but for this one, I really thought it was quite funny. It did make me chuckle. The story was wild, it was unhinged, but I mean this in the best possible way. I just found that there was never a dull moment at all when I was reading the story. And I think it goes without saying that in classic Freida McFadden style, towards the end of the story, there are some wild, bonkers twists, which I'm not sure entirely make sense, but we're just going to roll with it. I enjoyed them. Before I get on to my star rating and why this book shocked me, if you made it this far into the video, I just wanted to say thank you ever so much. It honestly means the world to me. If you haven't already done so and would like to hit that subscribe button, I would so appreciate it. You may or may not be aware that along with being on BookTube, you can also find me on TikTok and on Instagram, both the same handle at Emma Rees Crime. Now on for my star rating and why this book shocked me. As I said before, if you see my December reading wrap up, you will know that this was my favourite book of December. It wasn't quite a 5-star read for me. I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. And the reason that this book shocked me, it surprised me, was that personally, I think that this is the best book she's brought out in a very long time. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy The Crash, The Tenant, The Intruder. However, none of them, in my opinion, have been on the same level as Never Lie, The Perfect Son, or The Housemaid. And personally for me, Dear Debbie was on the same level as The Housemaid. I'm undecided yet which I prefer of the two. It is very, very close. I am now about halfway through Freida's backlist, and 2026 is a year that I am determined to complete it. So make sure that you keep your eyes peeled because I will do an ultimate Freida ranking when I complete her backlist. Speaking of ultimate book rankings of authors and January releases, I was also super lucky to receive an advanced copy of My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. I have done a ultimate Alice Feeney book ranking which includes her upcoming release, so I'll link that here. Also, I touched upon my December reading wrap up. Have you had a chance to check that out? If not, I'll link it here. Thank you ever so much for taking your time to watch this video. Is Dear Debbie on your radar? Will you be reading it? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you. Bye.